I was asked a question the other day about flexibility when we were grappling about, it's quite a common question, is that I need to become more flexible, and I wanted to share a visual explanation with a BJJ black belt who's going to be my demonstrator, and attack about flexibility versus strength flexibility. There's a very distinct difference, and hopefully this visual demonstration will give you an example of how to the difference between the two intellectually, and then how we can fix it. I have my trusty assistant here, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt Maya, to demonstrate. So, okay. When it comes to flexibility, a child gives you the best example because they don't have the proper development just yet, or muscular or skeletal development, so therefore they're not restricted in any range. So they're a perfect example to give you for flexibility with strength. So as an example here, you can see that for Maya, to do this sort of stuff and hungry, eat her own toes and all that is really no effort for her. She can do that. She can put it here, and she's not in any real stress. But the thing is, she doesn't have so she has the mobility and the flexibility, but she has no strength behind it. Obviously, we know that she's still developing, so therefore she can't have the maturation strength that others will have. But you can understand my point if we have a look. So here, flexibility here, flexible here, all through the hips. She's flexible, she can eat her own toes, all this sort of stuff, and look, she's got the splits on. She's wondering what the hell's going on. But you can see there's no strength there, so you can see that flexibility on its own without the strength is a great tool to have, don't get me wrong, but what we're after the two. We want a blend of flexibility with strength. And the thing with flexibility too is that you don't want it to be just static flexibility, which is just holding a stretch like hamstring stretch here and you're stretching that way. You don't want it to be just that. You need angular flexibility and angular strength as well. And angular strength, what I mean by that is this here is just a straight feto, my wee wee. So this here is your feet is straight over, but an angular flexibility, angular strength, you want to be able to have strength at these kind of ranges of motion here and there, all sorts of ranges of motion you want to have strength in. So just static linear stretching, where you put your foot up on a bench and you stretch your hamstring, yes, it does add flexibility to your game, but it doesn't add any strength. So you want to develop flexibility with strength rather than just flexibility on its own. And I think a little Pepe like this girl here is a perfect example of giving you a visual model of flexibility without any strength. So hopefully that helps. And so now to give you an example of how to increase your flexibility with strength, I've got one exercise here that I'd like to show you for the hamstrings and lower back. So your traditional hamstring stretch is, you just put up something like this, put your foot on a thing and then you reach forward. That's static flexibility. It's not very dynamic. It's just static, so there's no excessive range of motion, there's no movement pattern in that. I mean, you can do this, you can bend the knee, but at the end of the day, it's a static stretch. So a dynamic version, we've got two giving visuals, we've got Caleb, so you face the camera, son. And then what you want to do is you want to put your hands underneath your feet, and to do that you bend your knees. So you put your hands, so you stand on top of your hands, on top of your palms. You do this too, right? And then from this position here, you have to bend your knees to make that happen. So you're standing on your palms when you do this. So you stand right on top of your hands with your feet, and then so your toes are hitting the creases of your wrist. And then from here, big inhalation, and then exhale as you raise your hips up towards the ceiling, and you'll feel a big pulling action in your hamstrings. Sore bro. And you feel a big pulling action, and you can apply pressure by standing up more or putting your bum down towards the floor. So inhale up, exhale out, inhale down, exhale up, until your legs are as straight as possible. You can play with tension here, This is a great strength, hamstring flexibility with strength exercise. Give it a go and see how you progress with that one.
Man, that hurts.